Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's class. Uh, for just some minutes, show you guys my face. We run the class properly. So, okay, by the virtue of what I'm putting on, you know this class was recorded immediately after the class. Alright, so let's start. On Monday, we had some things to talk about. We had the introduction, we had the expectation. I told you where you get your app installed, and I know by now you guys are working on something huge. And more importantly, about the word framework, you need to write out your. That is important. Let me show you some tools you can use in writing out your framework. Whenever you need to pen down your framework, it's important that you know what you are doing with it and you do accordingly. There are some applications on the internet actually that can help you with putting down your framework. There are tools online. Let me just show you some of them. You can just check them out. These, look at them here. The first one actually, like I explained for Monday's class, is pen and paper. You can sketch it yourself. For those of you in SS2, you will have heard of pseudocodes before. For those of you in SS1 coming to SS2, you do it in third term in your SS2 class. You will have heard of pseudocode before, a way of programming without having to write any code. That is the same thing as framework. So all these things can help you. Even what's this thing called? Microsoft, what is small Microsoft Paint, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You can use that. If you are very good with Microsoft Paint, you can use it to sketch your website, what you want to achieve. So that said, all these are pencil projects, mock-up, wireframe, CC, Creative Commons. You can use all of those to create whatever thing you want to create. So moving on. Let's just go straight to the class for today. The class for today, which is we are getting on fully now. For your header, and you are going to be looking at header today. We are going to be looking at section today. We are going to be looking at ordered, and on that list, we are going to be looking at how you can add an image and how you can add Favicon. I will explain each of those as we get on it. So let's start. Let's go back to our code. Let's go back to our code here. And I would like to explain something to you guys here. This code that we have here, there is actually a software tool that can help us in achieving results here. And let me quickly show you before I start the explanation. It's called W3 Schools. W3 School is an online coding tool that helps other programmers from every walk of life, because there is virtually no programming language that they don't incorporate. Let me just quickly show you. It's here. Coming. Where is mine? Okay, yeah. Okay. Look at their interface. This is the home page. You might want to log in if you want to be part of their team. But in any case, if you don't want to be part of their team, then pick it. And whatever thing you have learned here, if you want to go pro fully, there is a room for that. And of course, while doing that, you get certified. So this is one platform I would recommend for you to do your stuff. You get certified rather. But in case you just want to jump on it, just pick something from them. You can see the stuff they have. Mention the programming language, please. You are even Excel. Well, for one thing we know about Excel in secondary school is that just do row and column. No, Excel is more than that. So this is Apple machine language, TypeScript, Django. Mention any programming language, Kotlin. They have all of those things. Angular, JavaScript, standard markup language that they use for assets and the rest of it. So you can get it here, but we are going to limit ourselves to HTML and CSS because we are just starting out. I am quite sure that this will motivate you guys to do a whole lot of stuff. So for example, now if you want to learn HTML, you just click on HTML, and of course they have video tutorial. If the video tutorial you want to watch, you are welcome. They do it for free at no cost. So if you want to learn HTML, this is a basic HTML code. You just do. I don't know for those of you who have had me saying I was working on a particular JavaScript code before and it's not running. I tried running, it doesn't run. This was the website I copied it from. I came here, click on JavaScript, look for the exact thing I'm trying to get. Upon seeing it, boom, I copy, paste on my website, and it started working. So that is it. So you can come up here and try anything now, HTML images, how to link, whatever thing I've taught you. If you know that you are trying to run the code, it doesn't run, come here. This one is an addition of HTML code plate that I ask you guys to download. So without wasting time, let's just go straight to it. Let's go straight to what we are going to be doing for today. Okay, that's it. This is me. This is where we stop, right? So right about now, because I wanted to work this particular website. Okay, enough of seeing my face actually. I want to take me off screen so that you can focus. You'll not be looking at me. Thank you. Just hear me. You don't have to necessarily look at me. Okay, this is where we were. So what I'm going to be doing right now is opening a new file. I open a new file. Then what I have there, I'll just highlight all, Control A, copy, Control C, then come here, paste, Control V. When I paste, the reason is that, and you have to keep doing this repeatedly for all your website, especially this head section. You have to, because your website, if it's a single website that you're working on and has 10 pages, the head section of your 10 pages website, 100 pages website, 1 million pages website must have this thing put together. And in most cases, down to the first head section of your website. If you look at most websites, if you click on the home page, if you click on the next page, maybe about us, you see that the top section will remain the same. That is because when they were coding it, this was done. This was done. So they repeated this work. For example, the HTML copy website I showed you that guy the other time, you can go back and check. You see that the head section is always the same. So having done that now, all you need to do is this new web page you save. You save. When you save, just put in maybe about us. Now, once you've done about us, the reason why I'm not saving is because I have it here already. We are going to make use of it later. So I am canceling it. Do not cancel your own. You are going to save it in the same folder you saved the first one. So I have it here already. It's here for me. And this was the same task I asked you to do, that you should write a paragraph of yourself. Don't bother about what I don't say is my decision. I said to write what I feel like writing. So you are supposed to write something. I make it lengthy. Don't just write a small thing. Make it lengthy because we will need this web page later. This particular page will be useful later. So now let's go back to our main page. The same thing you are copying now. We are going to restructure this into something else. So now I am selling clothes. I need to give this thing a good look. The first thing on our code is the header. We are working with the S and the section. So if I want to make my header look good now, I'll just open a tag, call it header. You can see it here, header. Now in between this is where I want to have this particular one. I'll just cut Ctrl X after I highlight, then paste inside. That is my header now. The reason is very simple. When we get to CSS, when we want to start, the header will be easier to start because they are together. Do you understand? Now, let's create section. But before we create section, let me explain what section is to you. Going back to our framework. Let me switch my screen. Going back to our framework here. Going back to our framework here. This is what an average website looks like, right? So when you have this now, the head section I'm talking about is this. the code here for all your website, all the web pages on your website must be the same. Then you have section by section, like I show you on different websites on your first video. If you have not seen the video, please go back and watch that video. It is important that you watch every video of this class. This particular one, like I said, was created using MS Paint. You can use Microsoft Paint. It's just a simple thing to do. If you want some other stuff to be beside it, you just press them beside it, and that is all. So this particular one now, named recipe 1, recipe 2, recipe 3. This should give you an insight of the type of website they are trying to build here. This should be a food or a drink or anything that has to do with edibles website. But we are not working with that yet. We will now create our own section. But before we create that, let me explain to you again the let me quickly, yes, the headings. Section. The section element is a structural HTML used to group together related elements. The S section now you can put them together as a section. The first part of your website you can put them together as a section and on like that. So let me go back to my code now and start the work over there. Sorry, please. So this is my code right now. I want to put in this as a section. I want to put this as a section. So in between again, I'll copy everything here. Chords. Then place in between. That is my first section. Then you can create another section, of course. You can create another section now. Section. Here. Inside this place now, that is where I will be having series of other things I want to put. Maybe my first section now is age 4. I want to be working with age 4, 5, 6. Age 4. Since I'll be selling clothes, male designers. That's my first section. We'll come back to filling them properly later. Second section. Another age 4. Female designers. Let me just walk quickly here. Because I'm selling clothes. I've female designer and female designer. So let me just include. What else do you think I can include? Make it get fight up. Let me include shoes and bags. Age 4 as well. Shoes, bags. Shoes and bags. Okay. So as I was saying, this is how your section looks like. You can just save now. Ctrl S, save. Then upon saving, go back to the browser and check the results. It will look like this. Let me show you. It will look like this. You can see I have my main section. I have the main thing about me, then male designer, female designer. Because looking at my code, they look like they are together, but because of the fact that they are sections, you can see each of them coming out distinctly on my web page. Don't mind that grammar, just ignore the grammar and do your thing. Let me already, yeah. Okay. Any change there will automatically help you. So as I was saying, sorry, the call came through, so I had to just stop it because of the class. Now, having done this, let's now try to put some element. This is the head section, like I told you, and this is the other section of the web page. Now let's try to put some other element that we see. Let's go back to our module coming from our module. I want everybody to be on the same page, following me. I am walking. There she is again. Okay, here. So we are done with the heading and this section. So now let's do ordered or unordered list. You see, sometimes you see this thing on websites, you don't even know that's what you are seeing. You don't even know that's what you are seeing. Let me show you an example. Let's go back to W3 schools. Let's go back to W3 schools. I will show you something here. We see it every now and then, but we don't know that's what we're seeing. W3 schools. Okay, you can see my screen now. Look at this side, all of them. That's a list, but we don't actually know it's a list because it's looking cool and okay on a particular side. This here at the top, this is another list. This reacting, responding, one after the other. It's a list, but we used to see it often time. We don't look at this one at the top here. That's another list. All these ones, they are either ordered or unordered. But the thing is that they have been styled so well that you don't get to see that it's a list again. So what do we do now is to find out how this list is made, primarily using HTML tags. Then when we now graduate to CSS, you will now see that this thing can actually go from this. Let me show you how boring it can look now from the material I promise to share with you guys later. Let me show you how boring it can be. This is actually a list. I hope you can see this. I'm coming to make it faster. Yeah, here, this. Here, boring. But these can actually be styled to turn to something like this. To turn to something like this. This here. So now let's go through the process. It's a gradual thing. You don't need to just jump boom to the end. So now let's go back to our code and see how we can do the styling. Let's go back to our code and see how we can do the styling. The code is just here. Okay, I'm having so many calls coming in. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, let's go back to our code and see what we want. So, back to my mail designer. Other list, another list. Let's code. I'm coding my ordered list now. I told you it's going to come out. Boom. Once you do that, inside this tag now, this OL means ordered list. So in this tag now, you will now list everything you want. You bring it down, you start listing. That's the first one. Mention the name of a designer because Chelsea wear Nike, and you guys know that. I go for Nike first, Nike designer, then another list. Bushy. I know you guys would like that. Then mention them. Another list. I'm not good with flow, so you guys should help yourself. But you don't have to necessarily do what I'm doing. Actually, you can just use what I've done to do what you want to do. Do you understand? So what else? I don't know. If that thing suits your style anyway. So let me just leave it at 3. You can go beyond 3. You can make 10. You can make 20. I want your website to be full. So now let's go to female designer. I will have issue here. I'm not too conversant with this kind of thing. I am just a regular, the kind of clothes I wear to class now. So on ordered list, that's the meaning you held on ordered list. Click on it. It's the reason why we're using Sublime Text, of course. So start listing them. Sorry. List 1. Sorry. List 1. D and G. I'll just give you guys random names. Like I said, I'm not a fashion person. D and G. I hope I'm satisfying the gentle girls among us. And sorry. Another list. You guys have to help me out here, please. I'll just put the same thing I have here. Sorry. I'm not a fashion person. Forgive me. So that's we've created at least. Okay, for this one too, you can just come up with something, put it there. But I'm saving now. Save, then I go to my browser. I'm gonna show you the results. Don't worry. Save and go to my browser, reload. Then boom, you need to see my web page right now. Let me show you the image that just happened. Let me show you the magic that just happened. Here you have it. Male designer, Nike, Gucci, Versace. Female designer, D&G, Nike, Gucci, Versace. So your task 1 is that you have to create 5 sections. Put in other lists and other lists, just mix them together. It's your work. That is it. That's your task 1 for this day too. That's your task 1. So we're done with the heading, the section, the order that the unordered list. So now let's try to put image on our website and also on Favicon. Let me quickly explain the two together, then we just go ahead and code. But normally this class will extend beyond 30-35 minutes thereabouts. I'm trying to be conservative with our data. So image and Favicon on our website. Remember I told you guys to create a folder. Let me show you my folder again. Remember I asked you guys to create a particular folder on your web page. Now I might have made a mistake. Don't label it image. The last time in your first video it was labeled image. Label it img. It means image. That's the combination of HTML code. Okay, enough of looking at me. So let's focus on class as usual. So inside this place, I have pictures there. Please, every picture that you will need for your website must be here. I might not be using the right image. the direct image. But know one thing, whatever image you want, you have to get it in there, and you know the name. You might probably want to rename them for easy identification on your web page. So how do I add any of these images to my website? Let's say, for example, now, okay, let me quickly just download the image of male designers. I just want it to merge clothing designers. Okay, now I think I'm seeing most of them here. Okay. I'm trying to get just the images, but what is showing me is huge, so I don't want that. This clothes designer brand. I'm trying to look for a search that will get me what I'm actually looking for. Okay, I'm seeing Givenchy here. No, it's a link. I don't want the link. Well, most of what I'm seeing here, they are links, and I don't want them. Right. Well, you guys can just get your images. So when you get it, make sure whatever image you want is just here. Ensure the image is here. So once the image is here, this is the way to code it. Let me show you now. This is the way to code it. It's very simple. It's very simple. Let me switch my screen to our Sublime text. Sorry. Our Sublime text. From here, let's say I want to put an image under the section for male designer. Ensure that the image is right there under the section. Or for example, now I want to put an image to Shencko store. It's my store now, so people should come to my website and see that there is an image there. So I just do. Let me make it come before this. Please, for the record, it's your decision to decide how your image will go. The moment you type IM, it show you the image tag. You see it, boom, like that. So from there, this area that is asking you to fill in is the place where you need to put the link to that particular image. Now you want to link the image in your folder to this place. This SRC means source. So it knows that there's a particular folder containing your element. Now all you just need to do is this. You just type in the name of that particular image. Let's say, for example, now the image I have that shows my logo there is T-Try, and it's I think it's a PNG file. So what I'm going to do is to type. I hope I'm sharing. Okay. All I'm going to do is to type try.png, and you save. When you save, you also go and see your browser again and see what you have there. Reload your browser and see what you have there. Okay, it's not supposed to break. What I'm having is this broken image, but it's not supposed to be like it's supposed to appear. So probably there is an error. You need to check for it. Okay, I've seen the error. It's supposed to be pretty high. Save again. Let me reload my browser. Okay, sorry, it should be image/yes. Now this is the source folder and this is the file. Then let's save and check out the browser again. Yeah, you can see it's appearing. It's the same. Let me show you the codes again. I made a mistake initially. When you don't do this thing often, you tend to forget, blah blah blah. So, this was the mistake I made. I'm supposed to add this image is the name of the folder that is emanating from. So in the same way, I can just equally add images to all of these ones. I can add images to all of this one. I'm adding another image here now. Image, then image / let me just look up for another image there. I have one image there called chain. Ctrl S, that's image there. Then I'll put another one here. Image, image / let me look for another one there. I have another one there called chain 1. It's just a way of me renaming them for easy remembrance. It means nothing. So when you are doing your own, you have to know how you label your image and record that image accordingly. Image / I think I have another here called salad. But here if you load them now, it will not load because I did not put the extension. So I need to look for the extension of each of those images. It's .jpg. You put it. The chain 1 is JPG. The chain is also JPG. So I can just add it to the two of them straight away. .jpg. Then this one too. .jpg. Ctrl S, I save, and after doing that, let me go to my browser. And show you now. So this is my browser. Reload. Tada! That's it. We'll talk about how to increase or reduce image data. And I think my website is changing face now, small. Yours should be doing that as well. So finally, before we go, look at the top of this, my browser. Don't look at the number of tabs I open. Look at all of these things. Look at. Each of them has a logo. But look at my own. It's boring. This is my own here. Just showing this stupid boring thing. I don't like it. So I want my own to add that thing too. So this thing you are seeing up here is what you call Favicon. Favorite icon. That's the meaning. Favicon. Let me just review some of these so that you can see it clearly. That's the last thing we are doing for today. It's my favorite icon. So how do I add Favicon? I told you about the head section the other time. The Favicon is added to the head section of your website. The Favicon is always to the head section of your website. You don't add Favicon to any part of your website outside the head, because your head section must contain everything. Your head section must contain everything that the website will reflect. You get that? Okay. So let's code our Favicon. Favicon is a link relative text. It's a link relative code rather. It's a link relative. It looks like the code for an image, but it's a bit different. So this is how we code our Favicon. I don't know which screen you guys are seeing right now, but let me just switch to the right screen. Oh, sorry. Maybe before I do that, I should explain it to you. Let me switch again. Then I can easily explain. Yeah, this is it. This is it here. Look at this place marked red. Let me bring it out clearly. Let me bring it out clearly so that you can see it. This is it. But for your Favicon, it must be in PNG. Your Favicon must be a PNG image. So this is called link relative is an icon. That is what makes it a Favicon. Then you type equal to image in PNG. Then this href is the reference of where the image is emanating from. So now let's add it to our web page as we round up this class. Let's add it to our web page. You go to the head section. It is a must that you go to the head section. It's a must that you go to the head section for this. Or go to the head section. Just after any of the meta tags, put it link. It's going to ask you the kind of link you are working on. This link now is for styling, but we don't need this link. The link we are looking for is, like I told you, is the icon. So you change this one. To icon. And after that, you proceed to the type. It's going to ask us the type, and we make it an image. /png. Then after that, it's going to ask us where the image is coming from. Then you can now type image / I'm using the same try that I use here, PRII.png. When you do that, you just control save. After control saving it, let's now go back to our web page and reload. For the page, you might not see anything, but if you do it very well, this icon you change to your logo, you change to the icon of your website, and that is how it's done. Ensure there is no mistake there, because if there is a mistake, it will not reflect. So that's the end of the class for today. Now your task is to add image, create the second page of your website. You have to add image, add Favicon, create section, and create another page for your website. So you have 4 tasks for today, and I give you some additional tools as well, like you can make use of what's it called? You can make use of W3 schools in case you're having an issue with your web coding. Thank you, and see you during the next class.